FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
We've known for a long time that industrialism threatened to put the world's natural climate at risk. This is not a new idea. We've just chosen to ignore it for generations, and now it's coming home. I believe it. But I also think there's another crisis, another climate crisis, a crisis not of natural resources, but of human resources. Now, it may be that you think, honestly, I'm good. I have one crisis. Thank you very much. I don't really need a second one. But I think the second one is as profound. Just while you're checking out your to-do list, it's as profound, and its origins are the same. Its origins lie in the same intellectual, cultural, and social movements that gave rise to the Industrial Revolution. It's predicated on a particular view of intelligence and ability, which I believe marginalizes many people and the better part of most people's capabilities. For all the great good that came from the Enlightenment, we've grown up with a schismatic view of the mind. And I think it's marginalized many people's talents. And I'll give you an example of this. You see, when I say the analogy is with the climate crisis in the natural world, I think it's an exact analogy. One is that it's costing us a huge amount of money to clear up the mess that we've created. In California next year, I think 2010, according to the state's projections, spending on the correctional system in California will exceed spending on higher education. I mean, what is that as a conception? I mean, what kind of conception of humanity is it that leads us to believe that we have to invest more money clearing up dysfunction than cultivating genuine talent and purposefulness at the beginning of our lives? See, I don't get it. I do not believe that this is based on any sound conception of humanity. I don't believe there are that many bad people out there. I mean, there are people in bad circumstances, people who make bad choices, people who, out of despair or anger or some or desperation, do bad things. But naturally bad? I don't think so. I just don't think there are that many psychopaths around. Actually, you don't need that many psychopaths in Venice. I mean, one goes a long way, I find, don't you, really? Really, if you meet 2 psychopaths in a day, that's a bad day on the whole, isn't it, really? That's worth a journal entry, I feel. Dear Diary. The day started badly. So I think there's a genuine crisis of human resources. There's another respect in which the analogy holds good, which is that this is a vast source of profit for many people. One of the reasons that the climate crisis in the natural world has been sustained so long is that so many people profited from it. From minerals, from petroleum, from keeping it that way. There were vast commercial interests buttressing the problem that we knew we had to confront at some point. And truthfully, the only reason it's being tackled now is because the commercial equations have started to shift around. And there's a shift in consciousness which contributes to this. But equally, human dysfunction, human alienation is a bounty for all kinds of corporations and institutions, not least the pharmaceutical companies, who make a great deal of cash, from trying to mediate people's depressions. Not solve it. Nobody's trying to solve depression, except well-intentioned clinicians. But on the whole, drug companies aren't keen to solve it. Why would they do that? Now, by the way, I'm not talking here about clinical depression. I'm not talking about, bipolar syndrome, genuine clinical conditions. I'm talking about kind of existential, I can't be bothered. I can't be doing with this kind of depression. A lack of purpose and engagement. The other way in which the analogy holds good is this, that human resources, like natural resources, are often buried deep. You have to go looking for them. They're not lying around on the surface. I'll give you a couple of great examples of this. I am from Liverpool in Britain, hometown of the Beatles. I think the popular music group. And I went to school in Liverpool, and across the city centre was another school, the Liverpool Institute. One of the pupils there was Paul McCartney. I didn't know him then, but the school is now a school for the performing arts, and I helped to get this school off the ground in the early days. I helped them with some of their assessment and standards issues. And I've been around the school a good bit, and I admire it hugely. They have a great guy called Mark Featherstone-Whitty, who's brought the school into being, and Paul McCartney is the patron. Anyway, a couple of years ago, they gave me an honorary degree. I do recommend this, by the way, as a trajectory. Because, you know, you slog away to get your first degree, and you reach a point where people just start handing them to you. It's fantastic, you know. Oh, you've got several degrees, have another one. So I have a whole cupboard of, if you're interested, you know, I'm just, if you're looking for one, I have some on offer. No, but so I was given this, so I went back to Liverpool. I'm actually going back next weekend as well, to get this at the school, and I was hanging out with Paul McCartney, or Paul, as I call him. So I asked him if he enjoyed music at school. You think he might have done, don't you? One of the premier musicians of our generation. He said he couldn't stand it, music at school. He said he went through the whole of his time at school and nobody thought he had any musical talent. Nobody spotted anything. One of the other pupils in the same music stream, a couple of years younger, was George Harrison, the lead guitarist of the said popular music group. And nobody spotted that he had any talent either. So this one music teacher in Liverpool had half the Beatles in his class. And he missed it.